told us that he had multiple conversations with his I have two titles mom and 5 Nonna Shirt parents. And he was well informed that he had some issues. Which is why he kinda let his in-class disruptions go without too much pushback. Obviously, this time was different. We were told he was brought to a psych center. And we saw him again. Me and mostly forgot about it till I read your comment. Went to a tech college to catch up on my studies after I dropped out of high school. And the class was all weirdos, druggos, and dropouts. Nice people, but definitely not who your mom wants you to hang out with. One day I'm hanging out with some people aiming weed. Everything normal. The next day one of them isn't in class. Turns out he left after our I have two titles mom and 5 Nonna Shirt session. Smoked more with his dad and sister, and they had some kind of group psychosis. And they went to the mother's home where they stabbed her to death in the street with scissors and a machete. There were a lot of people I knew there, but also a lot of shady folks I was unfamiliar with. Things started out okay, or at least as okay as they can for a party with a bunch of liquored up teenagers. As the night wore on, people started destroying things. I guess just because the place was abandoned. I left when someone threw an I have two titles mom and 5 Nonna Shirt toilet out of an upstairs window. So I found out later that the cops showed up. I have two titles mom and 5 Nonna Shirt. Tank top, V-neck, sweatshirt and hoodie. Tank top, V-neck, sweatshirt, hoodie. I was living in France on my own, and I got an I have two titles mom and 5 Nonna Shirt tutoring client. A man wanted me to teach his young daughter. In the first session, he offers to drive me home. Spends the entire time asking about a boyfriend, where I live, etc. In the second session, he wants to give me a tour of his house. I noticed he was standing at the door when we went into a room. Once we got to the second floor, I saw nothing would happen. After that, I tried to quit and he guilted me into coming 3 more times. Every time I got so anxious beforehand I wanted to puke. Every time he would offer a ride, and I took the 2 hours of buses home instead. Finally, I fully broke it off. I knew something bad was going to happen to me, and confirmed it with a few other young English-speaking women I knew. He was recruiting at best his second wife, but they all got extremely bad feelings being alone with him. Several people ran from them through a nearby cornfield but were caught. A friend of mine ran right into a barbed wire fence, however, and ended up in the hospital. Okay, this I have two titles mom and 5 Nonna Shirt is going to make me sound like I am trash that associates with trash. And I'm not. I just say yes to a lot and enjoy seeing where the night takes me. Long story short, I went to a bar alone one night to meet up with a couple I met at another bar earlier that night. When I wasn't alone, we meet up at bar number 2 and they're on a second date. Other products.